Am I the asshole? Because I let others eat my food which contains unrefrigerated eggs. Edit. This blew up overnight, and even though I put an edit on the bottom, people seem to miss it and still ask where I am from. I am from a country in Central Europe. The eggs were from the supermarket where they are placed on a shelf. My co-worker is from here as well, as far as I know. She moved here from our capital city where it's pretty international, so it is possible that A, her parents are from the States, or B, she got this idea from her international friends, but apart from this, no idea. She is no expat from North America though. So this is extremely ridiculous, but 2 people told me I was wrong, so I just ask here. English is not my first language. I don't want to make this overly complicated, so I summarize. A person from work, Jessica, visited me at home and sat in my kitchen for some reasons. Due to her observations and our conversation, she came to know I store my eggs like most people I know in the shelf on the counter and not in the fridge. For some reason she went nuts about this completely normal thing, told me I should not eat uncooled eggs ever. I told her it was fine several times, but she was really agitated about it and it was weird as hell. At work we often bring in food to share. Mostly cake, baked goods or salads. I brought in a potato and egg salad and put it in the kitchen for everyone. At some point a work friend quietly told me that Jessica would tell people in the kitchen to not eat my food since she was in my house recently and saw that I do not care about food safety. Apparently she did not explain in detail that it was about the eggs but just about food safety in general. I explained loudly in front of everyone that the issue was that I do not put eggs in the fridge. Colleagues laughed a little about it since that's how most people do it and continued to eat my salad. However, another person from work, Nicole, came up to me later and told me I should not feed others risky food without informing them, and if I wanted to take the risk of eating those eggs it was my decision, but I not make that decision for others. I was absolutely confused. It's the first time I hear about people freaking out about storing eggs. So am I the asshole? For using unrefrigerated eggs in other people's food? Edit. I am from a country in Central Europe and those eggs were from the supermarket where they won't put them in the fridge as well, by the way. Info. What country are you from and or what is the recommended storage for eggs in your country? It depends where you are and where you get your eggs from. In the US we store our eggs in the fridge because they've been washed of the natural elements that prevent spoil and contamination. If you're talking about commercial eggs from the US, it is unsafe to store them in the cupboard. Generally speaking, it's like this: many countries inoculate chickens against salmonella, and the eggs aren't washed. The US does not inoculate and also washes the eggs. Nations that inoculate for salmonella and don't wash eggs don't require refrigeration of eggs either at the store or at home. The US requires refrigeration as a mitigation against salmonella. Anyone please enlighten me if my understanding is wrong. I'm happy to be corrected. Hope you're not the asshole for storing and using your eggs in accordance with local health and food safety norms. Info. You say you are from Central Europe, but you don't say where you are now. And that's very important because eggs bought in Europe can be left out on the counter, but eggs sold in America have to be washed or treated, and this removes a protective covering, so they have to be refrigerated. Y'all, it's not that hard. Buy eggs that are unrefrigerated from store. Eggs can be stored unrefrigerated at home. Buy eggs that are refrigerated from store. Eggs need to be refrigerated at home. Not the asshole. Your co-worker is accusing you of attempting to poison people. I'd print off a nice sheet from your country's food safety website and put it right next to the next dish you make in the break room. I am from Germany, Central Europe as you could say, and the eggs in our supermarkets are not refrigerated either. They are perfectly safe. Not the asshole. Location. Egg source is important information here. If you had purchased refrigerated eggs, it would be an issue. As you had purchased unrefrigerated eggs, not the asshole, your colleague is ignorant. I'd avoid them for being the type of person who would say something behind your back, not to your face. Those types of people are toxic. Honestly, it depends where you live. In a lot of countries, it's perfectly safe to not put eggs in the fridge. However, in the United States, because of their cleaning process, eggs are unsafe to eat if they're refrigerated. Edit, you say in a comment that you live in a European country where eggs are sold on the counter, not from a fridge. So, not the asshole. Not the asshole, but I'm Scottish and still an eggs in the fridge kind of person, always given grief from the husband for it. They sell them off the shelves, why take up fridge space? In Austria it's completely normal to store them outside, the supermarket has them also outside. Not the asshole, she has her own views and you have yours. It seems to be something people don't really think about. But most of my life eggs were on a shelf, not in a fridge until I moved to the US, then it was 100 fridge. You're doing nothing wrong. Nata. I'm in the US and have chickens. We don't refrigerate our eggs, nor do most others I know who have farm eggs. I've never thought of warning others about it. Maybe I will now, as I see from your story and comments that eggs on the counter bother some people, lol. But it seems your entire office knows now, so they can decide for themselves in the future if they want to eat your food, woman shrugging. Not the asshole. Eggs have a protective coating that is damaged by cold. Refrigerating them is less healthy. X200B. X200B. Not in USA and Canada. They remove the coating and require refrigeration. I only put eggs in the fridge if I've done the float test and they've passed. Eggs that are off float in case I've destroyed the coating. And honestly, it's really easy, see above to see if they're off without cracking them. It's impossible not to tell if they are when you do crack them. Depends where you live. Certain places the eggs can stay out, others not. All about the processing. From what I've heard, once an egg has been stored in a fridge, they need to stay refrigerated until use, but if the egg has never been cooled, it is safe to store them at room temp. People have been farming chickens and keeping the fresh eggs on their counters or tables for as long as we can imagine. Not the asshole. Jessica and Nicole are huge ones that are FOSS. Not the asshole for me. In my country, people sell and store eggs in carton. We refrigerate it by choice. I buy eggs from egg carts at the side of the streets. Majority of people do this here. Not the asshole. I'm in America and we raise our own chickens for eggs. They stay on the counter a lot and they're perfectly fine. Obviously, we don't wash them off. If we do, they go in the fridge. You just need to make sure you are buying unwashed eggs. Unwashed eggs have a natural barrier that prevents germs penetrating. Refrigeration of eggs can cause condensation, which allows germs to penetrate the membrane. I'm in the UK, and here the eggs are unwashed, so the supermarkets don't refrigerate them. Not the asshole. I'm in the UK and we leave eggs on the kitchen counter. Seems like a normal thing to me. I know some people prefer them in the fridge, but it's not a necessity. They're just on the shelf at the supermarket. Not the asshole. Time for an all-star female linking them your local food safety requirements for eggs, and information on hostile work environments. Jesus fucking Christ, people have gotten so sheltered and stupid that they're afraid of fucking eggs. Not the asshole, since that is the normal thing to do there. If the eggs are unwashed, there is no reason to refrigerate. Most Americans cannot understand this, as our egg laws require them to be washed and refrigerated before sale. My mom and dad had a giant bowl of eggs from their chickens sitting on the counter. None of us ever got sick from them. In fact, they were far more delicious than anything we ever bought at the store. Happy chickens fed a well-rounded diet make amazing eggs. Not the asshole. If eggs have already been refrigerated at the time of purchase, then you should continue to refrigerate them after purchase. However, if they are farm fresh eggs and never been refrigerated, then you should leave them unrefrigerated for a longer shelf life.